Blue is the colour, football is the game, we're all together, and winning is our aim. So cheer us on through the sun and rain, because Chelsea is our name.
Stunning. Well, Leo, it has been quite the time to be alive for you over the last year. Not only have you had One Day, now it's about to star in Prime Target, and you've got the Bridget Jones movie coming up as well. How much of a ride has this last year been for you personally?
It's my life has definitely changed a lot in the last couple of years. Just trying to keep my sanity, keep my feet on the ground, enjoy as much of it as I can.
What's been your biggest, I actually can't believe this is effing happening to me right now moment?
I was in New York, and it was actually before One Day, but it was after Lotus. And I was at the Bowery, and I saw there were like 4 people in a corner of this big outdoor area, and we were the only people there. And I just sort of glanced over, and I was like, oh man, that's Bryan Cranston. And there he was sitting there with a few of his mates, and then I looked, and one of those mates was Aaron Paul, and I am a die-hard Breaking Bad fan. I've seen it, multiple times, and blah 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 blah. So I immediately felt sick. I was like, I can't go over and speak to them because they're having a coffee. I don't want to disturb them. I don't want to be that person. Maybe I'll just go to the loo, and as I'm walking past, I'll hopefully get a glance of one of them. Maybe one of them will look up. They didn't. But as I was reaching for the door, I just hear Aaron say, "Big fan, man, keep crushing it." And I looked down, and there he was, holding up a fist bump. And I went white as a sheet. I didn't say anything for a solid 5 seconds. And then I had to just vomit out some words so I didn't, appear like a psycho, and just told him how much they meant to me. And Bryan, gave me this kind of smile that, so he could see how much it meant to me, and he's got this beautiful smile. And I couldn't believe that in that moment, at least Aaron knew who I was. I'd seen me do anything and said he was a fan, and that was a big, I can't believe this is happening to me moment.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty big one.
I think I went back to my room and I just laid face down on the floor. And that's not an exaggeration. I couldn't be standing up for much longer.
I love that that's the definition of being starstruck. When do you think you became really accepting of yourself? Because I think we all go through such a period of trying to fit in, and we all go through different stages of that. What's that journey look like for you to be able to sit there and say, this is who I am, I totally accept who I am, and I'm not going to try and fit in anymore?
For me, it was over the course of a few years. It takes work. It takes, I think it takes therapy. I think everyone should do that. I think I found a lot of confidence, a newfound confidence, when I was sort of finishing my 3-year tenure at drama school. I knew that I was leaving with a newfound confidence and sense of self. And when things started to really kick off, i.e. Lotus, and then One Day, I kind of had to rally quite quickly and go, okay, there's gonna be a lot of exposure. I'm a bit more out there now, and I want to make sure that I protect myself and stay sane and don't lose myself. And the only way that I could do that was just to go, okay, this is me. A lot of the time that means, not taking things very seriously. So I'm waiting for the moment where that gets me into some bother.
And it's also so great to talk about therapy in that conversation as well, because we all should be talking about our mental health more. And actually, we barely really hear men in the public eye really talk about it. So it's so refreshing to hear that. How do you think therapy's helped you as a person and made you in the person you are today?
It's a process. It takes that choice to go, okay, whatever it is that I'm struggling with, I need to work through it, and I need to be able to talk about it. And honestly, there are days where, I'm sure, I don't know if you do therapy, but you walk in, you're like, you know what? I feel great today. I don't need fucking therapy. What am I doing this for?
Yeah.
And those days are also incredibly important. For me, it built a real resilience, and it helped me, I don't know, grow not just a sense of self, but an acceptance that everyone else is also dealing with their own shit, and like you can't help everyone. You can't conduct anyone else's behavior, and like I think having an acceptance of that is actually quite freeing.
When have you ever felt like an outsider or felt a little bit lonely in where your path is going or what you're doing?
I think lots of times, but nothing specific. But I think we all have those moments where you feel back-footed, you feel like you're out of your depth, you feel a bit lost, you don't know who you can cling on to, and it's one of those things that makes me feel incredibly sad, and something that I want to, if I see loneliness, I instantly want to fix it. Like, it's one of the worst things for me is thinking of someone who's lonely, or seeing someone who's lonely. Because it's heartbreaking. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are times where, and maybe we all do this, where you think you see someone who's lonely because they're eating a sandwich alone at Pret or something, and and you think, oh, how sad, but sometimes you do have to check yourself and remember that, no, they're just on their work break, or, you know what, maybe they love their alone time.
Yeah, that is a good reminder. I think it's also interesting you say that, because I think now when you are coming into being a leading man in so many of the projects that you're in, with that comes so much responsibility to set the tone on set. And we have so many actresses come on this podcast, and we talk about equality in the industry and what we need more of, and more of that is male allies. And when you're coming into being a leading man on these sets, and you've worked with so many incredible women you can learn from as well, what kind of leading man do you want to be, and what do you think kind of responsibilities come with that, especially when there's a pressure to maybe be a role model or set good examples to not just people on set, but people off set as well, like men at home?
I'm fortunate enough to have had the opportunity the last couple of years. I remember when we started shooting one day, it was the first 2 weeks, I felt I'd taken on that task maybe a little too heavily, honestly. I was thinking and worrying about how do I act like a leading man? It was a new experience for me on a set like that, on a shoot like that. I just learned to be myself. I'm a very friendly person. I like everybody to feel seen and comfy and safe, and you don't need to do too much, to be honest. I think sometimes the smallest things can go a long way, and shoots like that, but also, shorter ones, they're hard work, and everyone's working incredibly hard, and everybody is gonna be going through something on some day. And I think for me, I'm still learning a bunch. I'm still trying to figure it all out, but I know that I feel conscious and comfy about stepping onto set, learning everyone's names, and having no sense of I don't know, no sense of status, really. My it's quite easy for me to just be the big dumb idiot.
I think so much of what you're saying in this podcast really shows why you're so great at building chemistry with people. Because when we had Ambika on the podcast just before One Day.
Oh, you had
came out.
Amika on the podcast? Oh,
Yeah, it was honestly so amazing. And one of the things she said about you, which I thought was so great, is you really helped her through, just through being there, you really helped her through moments of self-doubt. And I think that's what's so great about you as a performer, and clearly as a human from just hearing from you today, is that you like show up as yourself and then you're there for people. And is that kind of like...
Oh, that's so sweet.
But is that what it's like? It's important to you to build those safe spaces for others, and that's why you're able to create such amazing chemistry on screen, do you think?
I think I just feel quite strongly about, you know, doing this job, is an incredible privilege, but also, you know, it's not the most important thing in the world. Like, I take my work very seriously, but I also take people seriously, and it's something that's important to me, and I think for me, that's kind of how I go to work, is being able to compartmentalize, okay, that's the work that I need to do, and some days I might need to be way more insular and, you know, focused for particular scenes, but also maybe a lot of the time that's not the case, and a lot of the time it's just about a crew of people trying to make the day. And I don't know, maybe there's something in that in chemistry with people, but it might just be an openness to people.
Well, I think that's such an important thing that everyone should try to be, is give more openness and create more safe spaces for people. And I think also that must be so important, because one of the constant threads that kind of goes through everything you've done is you've always had to do very kind of like exposing intimacy scenes, for instance, and you need to feel like you're in a safe space to be able to do that. Because I guess, does that feel quite exposing in a way? Or does it also feel so empowering for you to be able to be like, okay, I'm going to get my kill off, whatever, let's go?
Nah, it's more exposing.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't know. It's part of the gig. I think I'm lucky to have not been part of a scene that was, I don't know, gratuitously explicit. Like, it's always got it's a plot point, you know, and so it's part of the story. But when you know that you're getting your kit off, and however many people are gonna see you naked or whatever, that's stressful, man. But you gotta just have, I don't know, I just feel like you gotta have a sense of humor about it, as much as you can. But you know, there are some days where I really don't feel like doing it, and there are days where I feel a bit more casual about it. It's mood dependent.
And it's also down to you, isn't it? And like how you're going to feel in those moments. And I think that comes from being, if you feel in a comfortable setting, you're going to feel more comfortable in yourself. And that's applicable to any situation in life. And I think one thing that makes everyone feel very comfortable is Bridget Jones. Everyone loves a slice of Bridget Jones. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I've already seen the movie at a very early screening, and I want to tell you that it's literally perfect. It's chef's kiss.
Good.
Perfection.
Good.
It's so good. Did you ever imagine you'd be rescuing Bridget Jones from a tree?
Hell no. God no. It's you know, that's one of those surreal moments that we were talking about earlier. I love Bridget Jones. It's one of those films that I'd probably, watched for the first time very young at Christmas, and just then it became an annual thing. Yeah, to be a part of it is very, very, very special. And yeah, I've now seen it. I'm so glad that that's how you feel about it. Because I kind of agree. I think it's wonderful. I think the way, I can say that because it's not, it's not like my film. Like I think what Renee has done with that character across the span of 20 years is really one in itself. There's not something that I think I could compare to it. I think she's so wonderful. She's made so many people, if not feel seen, but just feel cozy. What Mad About the Boy achieves is that same effect. It's got all the Bridget-tisms that we know and love, and it's stayed true to that kind of template, but it's got a new aspect as well, which is her dealing with grief, and she plays it so wonderfully. It's written so beautifully, and it's incredibly moving.
I cried all the way through it, and I was like, oh my God, I cried all the way through One Day, now I'm crying all the way through Bridget Jones. I was like sobbing to the point that someone in the next to me was like, do you want a tissue? And I was like, yeah, I do want a tissue, thanks so much. I mean, honestly, it's amazing. So I cannot wait for everyone to see it. And then before everyone rushes off to go see Bridget Jones, Leo, we always end on one final question, which is, in the reign of your life, what's the one rule you'll always live by?
Be kind to people. It's simple, but it's important.
And be kind to yourself, right?
Nah, screw myself. I don't care about myself.
Like, all the rules of self-love just thrown out there.
No, fuck with that.
Absolutely fine.
No, I don't care about that.
Yeah, I'm good. It's absolutely
Yeah, I don't care what happens to me.
focus on putting kindness into others. And you know what? You get the kindness back, so it works.